Hello future engineers, here is a video about sample problems in differential calculus. I presented the solution to so many problems, and there are also techniques here using the calculator. So evaluate the limits if they exist. So remember limits when the denominator or when this function will not lead to indeterminate form like 0 over 0, or when the denominator is not 0, you simply substitute right away the value of theta. So sine of pi over 6, tangent of pi over 6, it will not give us 0. So you substitute right away. That's the calculator technique. That is sine of 2 times pi over 6 divided by sine of quantity pi over 6 tangent of pi over 6. And using your calculator, it will give you 3. Although in this case, I still simplify it into sine of pi over 3, which is square root of 3 over 2 over sine pi over 6 1/2, and tangent pi over 6 square root of 3 over 3. Cancel square root of 3, cancel 2. This 3 becomes the numerator, so that's why the answer is 3. But the official solution, if you are a student in calculus, this is not allowed. You can only use this technique in checking your answer. So that is, I first, uh, you can use this of course, but let us simplify. This is equal to limit as theta approaches pi over 6, sine 2 theta by double angle formulas, 2 sine theta cosine theta over sine theta, tangent theta is sine theta over cosine theta. So we can cancel sine theta and write this as 2 cosine square theta over sine theta. Then we substitute value of theta because uh, we can make it very close to pi over 6 but not equal to pi over 6. But because the original problem, this will not lead to indeterminate form, so that's why we substitute 2 cosine pi over 6 quantity square over sine pi over 6. Cosine of pi over 6 is square root of 3 over 2, and when you square that, that's 3/4. And sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. So that's why 2 divided by 1/2 is 4, and cosine pi over 6 quantity square is 3/4. So it's 3. Letter B, limit of t cubed minus 13t plus 12 over t cubed minus 14t plus 15. Notice that when t approaches 3, the denominator approaches 0. So this is an indeterminate form. That's why you are forced to factor out 3. In the numerator, t cubed 27 plus 12 39 minus 13 times 3, that's also 0. So this is in the form 0 over 0. So that's why you have to factor out t minus 3, which is common here. Now, uh, we have factor out t minus 3. Then the other factors would be t plus 4, t minus 1. You can use your calculator. You can use synthetic division technique in factoring. Then in the denominator, t minus 3 quantity t squared plus 3t minus 5. We can cancel t minus 3 because t is not equal to 3. It's only close to 3. So that's why we can cancel it without a problem. Then because the denominator is no longer 0, this is no longer indeterminate form, we substitute 3. So 3 plus 4 is 7, 3 minus 1, 2, over 3 squared plus 3 times 3 minus 5. So 14 over 18 minus 5, 13. So that's why the answer is 14 over 13. Now, with regards to calculator technique, all you have to do, because in your calculator, the default variable is x, not t. So let's just copy that. We replace t by x in your calculator. Then you have to press calculate. So calculate at 3.0001, which is very close to 3, and 2.9999, which is also close to 3, which is just to the left. This is just to the left and just to the right. So for 3.0001, it will give us 1.077, and for 2.9999, it's 1.077. They are equal, so the limit exists, and this is the equivalent of 14 over 13. So this is the recommended solution for board exam purposes. But for, or as a student, it should be this technique here. Or this technique, we call this L'Hopital's rule. And the rule is when we encounter indeterminate forms such as 0 over 0, or the numerator has a value and the denominator is 0, we have to differentiate individually, separately, the numerator and the denominator, until such time that when we substitute the value of t, it will no longer be indeterminate. So the derivative of the numerator is 3t squared minus 13, and the derivative of the denominator is 3t squared minus 14. When t is approaching 3, the denominator is no longer 0, so that's why we substitute 3. So 3 times 3 squared is 27 minus 13, 14. Then 3 times 3 squared, 27 minus 14, 13. So the answer is 14 over 13. Then we proceed to letter C rather. So for letter C, because this is intended for those who want to take the board exam, then when y approaches pi over 2, this approaches 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0, and the numerator is also approaching 0. So this is indeterminate. So I suggest that you apply L'Hopital's rule, or for board exam purposes, set your calculator in the radian mode. Then pi over 2 is 1.57 something, 50 something. So that's why we have to substitute values just to the left and just to the right of pi over 2. So pi over 2 to 5 to 2, 4, 6, 7 to 7 significant figures is 1.570796. So that's why this is just above pi over 2, 1.5708, and this is just below pi over 2, which is 1.570796. So this is just below. So when you use your calculator and evaluate this ratio, it will give us, for this value of x, 2, for this value of x also 2. So that's why the limit exists, that it is equal to 2. Problem letter D, limit as x approaches infinity. So the official method by students in calculus should be this. We divide everything by x cubed, which is the highest degree of the variable, so x cubed. So this becomes 2 minus 3 over x plus 2 over x squared minus 6 over x cubed. And the denominator is 3 plus 4 over x minus 6 over x squared plus 5 over x cubed. Then we know that as x approaches infinity, that is very large, any value divided by a very large value approaches 0. So everything here, second, third, and fourth terms in the numerator and in the denominator will be 0, and it will leave us 2/3 as a result. So the limit is 2/3. This is called limits at infinity. So you substitute, you divide everything by the variable raised to the highest degree. And that's the official solution for students in calculus. But for the calculator technique, you have to use your calculator. You just calculate this expression here, and you substitute x equals 100,000 If your calculator will still answer at 1 million, then do it. But 100,000 is enough, and the calculator will still answer it. The decimal equivalent is 0.66665, and that's the approximate decimal equivalent of 2/3. So that's why the answer is 2/3. Letter E, limit of 1 minus cosine 5h over 1 minus cosine 7h. So for the students, we have to use the equivalent identity of this, which is 2 sine square of 5h over 2 squared, 2 sine square 5h over 5 halves h, divided by 2 sine square 7 halves of h. So that would be 5 halves square, so we cancel 2 first. 5 halves square is 25 over 4. 25 over 4. Then the denominator 7 halves square is 49 over 4, and we write this as sine of 5h over 5 halves h, because 5 halves square is here, and we know that limit of sine theta over theta, that's the form as theta approaches 0. As h approaches 0, 5 half h approaches 0 also. So that's in the form sine theta over theta limit as h approaches 0, and that is 1 by the formula. Then divided by sine of 7h, 7 halves h over 7 halves h quantity square. And again, this is approaching 1 by formula. It's in the form sine theta over theta. Limits of sine theta over theta as theta approaches 0. So that's 1. 1 square is still 1. 1 square is still 1. So we cancel 4. So the answer is 25 over 49. Now for the calculator technique, all you have to do is set your calculator in the radian mode. Then all you have to do is evaluate this when h is close to 0, that is just to the left, negative 0.0001, and just to the right, positive 0.0001. So both of these assigned values of h will give us 25 over 49 using the calculator. So that's the calculator technique. This is the official solution, supposedly, traditional solution. Letter F, limit of sine of quantity 1 over x as x approaches 0. So we know that the graph of sine of x is continuous. So when x approaches 0, then 1 over approaching 0 is, if it is just to the left, so negative infinity, and the sine function is defined there. 1 over x just to the right, 0.0001, that's positive infinity, and it's also defined. But this time, let's use the calculator, and we evaluate sine of 1 over x. Because x approaches 0, we assign negative 0.0001 and positive 0.001. At negative 0.0001, the value is 0.3056. At 0.0001, the value is negative 0.3056, because they have different signs. They are not close, of course. They are not equal to the preceding calculations there. They are really equal, both the left hand and the right hand limits. So therefore, the final answer is the limit does not exist, or we simply say no limit. Example 2. Find the first derivative of the following functions. So a, b up to e. So this is derivative of ratio u over v, and the guide is denominator times derivative of numerator minus numerator times the derivative of the denominator all over denominator square. So we first distribute t square so that we will not have a longer derivative, so that the numerator becomes t squared plus t over 2t minus 1. So ds dt is equal to denominator 2t minus 1 times the derivative of the numerator, which is quantity 2t plus 1, minus numerator t squared plus t, quantity derivative of denominator 2, all over denominator squared. Simplifying, the numerator is 4t squared minus 1. Then this is minus 2t squared minus 2t all over denominator square. Simplifying the numerator, that is 2t squared minus 2t minus 1 all over quantity 2t minus 1 square. Now, the technique using the calculator is you have derivative key there. You simply type derivative of n quantity. Make sure that you correctly type the expression, the function. So we have x, quantity x plus 1, original, divided by 2 alpha x minus 1, and close. We evaluate it at, let us say x equals 0.3. You can assign any value here. I suggest not a whole number, and make sure that the denominator will not give us 0 when we assign a value. It will display math error by your calculator if that's the case. So we only consider values that will make the denominator non-zero. So 0.3 is true for this case, but 0.5 will give an answer of math error by your calculator, because when x is 0.5, this denominator will be 0. So evaluating using your calculator, it is negative 8.875, and that's the derivative when x is 0.3. Then if this is the answer, we just replace t by x, and we evaluate this answer here, expression, when x is 0.3 also, and it will give us negative 8.875. So that means that's correct. That is correct. Then letter B, s is square root of 280 minus t squared. So this is in the form square root of u. The derivative of square root of u is derivative of u with respect to t divided by 2 square root of u, or using the power formula. Again, derivative of u, which is 280 minus t squared with respect to t, divided by 2 square root of u. But in this case, I rewrite this as quantity s is quantity 280 minus t squared raised to 1/2, and then apply power formula, because the direct formula for derivative of square root of u was or is based on the power formula. So it will give us the same result. So that is derivative of quantity 280 minus t squared raised to 1/2 is 1/2 times quantity, imagine this is u, so copy the u, raised to 1/2 minus 1, so negative 1/2, times the derivative of u inside, which is 2a minus 2t with respect to t. So we can factor out 2 here, so cancel 1/2 and 2. That leaves a minus t in the numerator. Then this is 280 minus t squared to the negative 1/2 is the same as 1 over square root of 280 minus t squared. So that's the answer. For the calculator technique, all you have to do is set a equals 1 and t equals 0.3 again, 0.3. So using the calculator, evaluate derivative of square root of 2 times 1 times x to 2x minus x squared at x equals 0.3. It will give your calculator 0.9802. Then evaluate the answer if this is correct. So since we assume a is 1, we assigned a is 1, so 1 minus x over square root of 2 times 1 times x, so 2x minus x squared. At x equals 0.3, your calculator will evaluate this function value to 0.9802. They are equal, so that means that's the answer. Then letter C, y equals constant over 1 plus 2x. The guide is constant over u. Imagine this is u. And the derivative, the shortcut formula is negative constant over 1 plus 2x squared, negative constant over u squared times the derivative of u with respect to x. But I will not do that again. You may use this guide if you want, but I'll just rewrite this as this so that I can apply power formula. So 3 times quantity 1 plus 2x raised to negative 1. So dy dx is negative 3 quantity 1 plus 2x to the negative 2 du dx. So derivative of 1 plus 2x is 2. So the final answer is negative 6 over 1 plus 2x squared. Should you use this formula here? So negative 3 over 1 plus 2x squared, then the derivative of 1 plus 2x squared, which is du dx, is 2. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Then we have over 1 plus 2x quantity squared. This is the guide for square root of u. Letter D, x is t over square root of a squared minus t squared. This time, I'll just present the proper solution, the conventional solution for the calculator technique. We have examples for calculator techniques here. Then if you want to apply the technique, then just do it by yourselves. So this is derivative of ratio u over v. So the derivative is denominator times derivative of numerator 1 minus numerator t. Derivative of square root of u is equal to the derivative of u. Derivative of a squared minus t squared is negative 2t. Then divided by 2 square root of u. Du dx over 2 square root of u. So du dx means derivative of u, negative 2t, over 2 square root of u. So 2, you just copy, is square root of a squared minus t squared. Then all over the square of the denominator, because that's denominator times derivative of numerator minus numerator times derivative of denominator all over denominator square. The denominator is a squared minus t squared. So cross multiply, we have a squared minus t squared plus t squared. Then all over, we combine this. So they are same except the power. So that's why we have quantity a squared minus t squared to the 3 halves. Simplifying, after we cancel negative t squared and t squared, so dx dt is a squared over quantity a squared minus t squared to the 3 halves. So again, I assign to you if you want to use your calculator. Then letter E, y equals quantity x cubed over a minus x to the 2/3. So dy dx, power formula, 2/3 of u. Imagine this is variable u, auxiliary variable u. So 2/3 of u to the 2/3 minus 1, negative 1/3, times derivative of u. Then u is a fraction, so denominator, derivative of numerator, 3x squared minus numerator, derivative of denominator, negative 1, all over denominator square. So x to the negative, x cubed to the negative 1/3 is x to the negative 1. Then divided by 3, divided by quantity a minus x to the negative 1/3. Then let's simplify this into 3ax squared minus 3x cubed, then plus x cubed all over a minus x quantity square. So we have 2x to the negative 1 over 3 quantity a minus x to the 5/3, where 5/3 is negative 1/3 plus 2. So that's 5/3. Then the numerator here, we simplify into 3ax squared minus 2x cubed. And if we factor out x squared, this becomes 2x because we factor out x squared. And this becomes 3a minus 2x. So that's why we have 2x, 3a minus 2x all over 3 quantity a minus x to the 5/3. So that's the answer. Then calculator technique. Let's evaluate this with a equals 1 and x 0.3 again. Your calculator will give us 0.8698. Then using the calculator, derivative of original function x cubed over 1 minus x quantity raised to 2/3 at x equals zero point 0.3, the calculator will give you us that value 0.8698, which is similar to that. So that proves that this is the answer. Example 3, find the first derivative of the following functions. So these are implicit functions wherein the dependent variable is not expressed directly in terms of the independent variable. So we just differentiate each term and take note that the derivative of y is y prime. So derivative of x squared is 2x. Then this is minus 2 derivative of product. Derivative of product is first x, derivative of y prime, plus second y, derivative of x, 1, close. The plus derivative of y squared, which is 2y dy dx or 2y y prime, minus 6 derivative of x is 1, so minus 6, and plus 2y prime equals 0. Simplifying and expanding, we have 2x uh, 2x minus 2y. So 2x minus 2y, then minus 6 here, then minus 2x y prime, which is that, then plus 2y y prime, then plus 2y prime equals 0. So factor out 2 for these first three terms. Then we have x minus y minus 3. Then transpose 2x y prime, 2y y prime, and 2y prime to the right. That's why we have positive 2x y prime minus 2y y prime minus 2y prime. Then we can cancel 2, or we factor out 2 from the right side, then cancel 2. So x minus y minus 3 equals, this is y prime quantity x minus y minus 1. Therefore, y prime dy dx is x minus y minus 3 all over x minus y minus 1. So that's the answer. Then letter B, quantity x plus y squared equals 2ay. So differentiating power formula, 2 quantity x plus y raised to 1, or quantity x plus y. Then derivative inside, derivative of x plus y is quantity 1 plus y prime. Then derivative of the right side is 2a y prime. So we can cancel 2 and write this as x plus y times 1, so x plus y, then x plus y times y prime equals ay prime. So x plus y equals, factor out y prime, at the same time transpose this to the right. So we have y prime times quantity a minus x minus y. So we can now evaluate y prime dy dx, x plus y over quantity a minus x minus y. Example 4, this is higher order derivative, second derivative. So y squared equals 4ax, a parabola open to the right. Derivative of y squared 2y prime, derivative of 4ax 4a. Cancel 2, so y prime equals 2a. So that means y prime is 2a over y. Then we proceed, differentiate this, so y double prime first, derivative of second, y double prime, plus second y prime, derivative of first, y prime equals 0. So y double prime equals negative quantity y prime square, and since y prime is 2a over y, substitute, then y double prime equals negative 4a square over y square. Finally, divide everything by y, so y double prime equals negative 4a square over y cubed. Example 5, if x squared plus y squared equals a squared, which is a circle of radius a, center at the origin, find y double prime. So differentiating x squared 2x plus 2y y prime equals 0. That's constant, so 0. Cancel 2, x y prime equals 0, so that means y prime is negative x over y. Then go back to this, x plus y prime equals 0. Differentiate again with respect to x, so 1 plus first y, derivative of y prime, y double prime, plus second y prime, derivative of first y prime, equals 0. So simplifying 1 plus y prime, y double prime plus y prime square, and y prime is negative x over y, quantity square equals 0. So 1 plus y double prime plus x square over y square equals 0. Multiply everything by y square, so y square plus y cube y double prime plus x square equals 0. Transpose x square and y square to the right, so y cube y double prime equals negative of quantity x square plus y square. But x square plus y square is a square, so that means y double prime is negative a square over y cube. Example 6, if y equals cosine x, find the 398th derivative of cosine x, or y equals cosine x. So let's study the first few derivatives. So y prime is derivative of cosine negative sine x. Y double prime is negative of derivative of sine is cosine x, so negative of cosine x. Y triple prime is negative of derivative of cosine negative sine x, so that's positive sine x. And the fourth derivative is derivative of sine x cosine x. So it goes back to the original. So meaning to say the fourth derivative, the eighth derivative, the 12th derivative, the 200th derivative, the 396th derivative, they are all equal to cosine x, the original. So therefore, the 397th derivative is negative sine x, and the 398th derivative is negative cosine x. So that's why the answer is negative cosine of x. So example 7, find y if y is equal to the first derivative. It is also the second derivative, third derivative, the nth derivative, where y is not 0. So that function is y equals e to the x. The derivative of e to the x is always e to the x. So the answer is y equals e to the x. 8. If y is x to the n, find the n plus 1 derivative of y. So let's study the first few derivatives. So y prime is n by power formula, x to the n minus 1. Y double prime is n times n minus 1, x to the n minus 2. Then y triple prime, n times n minus 1 times n minus 2, x to the n minus 3. So by following this pattern, we conclude that the n derivative is n minus 1, n minus 2. So here, if it is third derivative, it ends at, for the constant or coefficient, it ends at n minus 2, which is in general n minus quantity 3 minus 1. So for n derivative, it should be the product of n minus 1, n minus 2. Then we have n minus quantity n minus 1, just like here. 3 minus 1, which is 2. So that's why you have n minus 2. Then the power of x is n minus, example, third derivative, so n minus 3. So here, n derivative, so the power is x to the n minus n. So since this is n minus n plus 1, or simply 1, this is the nth derivative, which is n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, until 1, and notice that that is n factorial. The product of n up to 1 is n factorial. Then x to the 0, which is 1, therefore n factorial times 1 is n factorial. N factorial is a constant, so the next derivative is the derivative of n factorial, which is 0. So the n plus 1 derivative of this y equals x to the n is 0. Sample 10, example 9, I will leave that to you in the original copy. Find the slope of the curve x squared plus 2y squared minus 3x minus 4y plus 2 equals 0 at quantity 1, comma 2. So the derivative, first derivative of y as a function of x is slope of the tangent to the curve. So this is an implicit function. So we differentiate individually each term. Derivative of x squared is 2x. Derivative of 2y squared is 4y, y prime. Then minus 3 minus 4y prime plus 0 equals 0. So note that y prime is slope. So I replace y prime by m, and we substitute the value of the point. X is 1, y is 2. So 2 times 1 plus 4y, which is 2, y prime, which is m, minus 3 minus 4m equals 0. So 8m minus 4m is 4m. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Negative 1 to the right, positive 1. So m is 1/4. So the slope is 1/4. Example 13. Find the vertex of the parabola by means of the derivative. So the first parabola is 9x squared plus 6x minus 18y minus 35. This is the second parabola. This parabola is open upward because the coefficient of y opposite to x is negative. When we transpose this to the right, it becomes positive. So that means it is open upward. When x is squared, it is either open up or down. But when the terms are on the left side and the coefficient of x squared and the coefficient of y, the opposite variables, the different variables are opposite, then that means the parabola is open upward. So it is open upward, so the vertex is here, the tangent is 0 at the vertex or at the lowest point. So differentiating 9x squared, so 18x plus 6 minus 18y prime equals 0. Then we set y prime equals 0 because that's a parabola that is open upward. Even if it is open downward, y prime is still 0. Solving for x is negative 1/3. So we call that h, coordinates of vertex h comma k. Then after we found out h or x, we substitute into the original formula to solve for y. So 9 times negative 1/3 square plus 6 times negative 1/3 minus 18 minus 18y minus 18k and minus 35 equals 0. Solving for k is negative 2. So this is 1 minus 2, negative 1 minus 35, negative 36 divided by 18 because this becomes 18k to the right, so negative 2. So the vertex therefore is at negative 1/3 h comma k negative 2. For part B, this parabola is open to the right. There are two values of y, upper and lower, so open to the right because again, y square and coefficient of x, opposite variables, square, one is square, the other is not squared, that's a parabola, is open to the right. They have opposite sides. That's why same explanation here. This is open to the right. And the vertex is here. The tangent is vertical. And for vertical tangent, that means the slope is meaningless or infinite, cannot be found. So we differentiate the equation 4y prime minus 6 plus 3y prime equals 0. Factor out y prime, we have 4y uh, plus 3 equals 6. So y prime equals 6 over 4y plus 3. Now, a fraction is undefined when the denominator is 0. So we equate this to infinite or undefined, and that happens when the denominator is 0. When the denominator is 0, y is negative 3/4, and that is k. So after we solve k or y negative 3/4, substitute into the original equation 2 times negative 3/4 squared minus 6x or 6h plus 3 times negative 3/4 minus 11 equals 0. So using your calculator, h is negative 97 over 48. The vertex therefore is at negative 97 over 48, comma negative 3/4. Then example 14, for the curve y equals quantity 1 minus x squared over x, find the rate of change of slope at 2 comma 1/2. The first derivative is slope. So the second derivative is the rate of change of slope. So this is y double prime. So using the usual way, the official way or the traditional way of solving it, this is derivative of ratio. So y prime is denominator x, derivative of numerator 2, quantity 1 minus x raised to 1, and derivative of each side 1 minus x is negative 1. Then minus numerator 1 minus x quantity squared, derivative of denominator x is 1, divided by square of denominator, so x squared. We factor out 1 minus x, then we have negative 2x, then this is minus quantity 1 minus x, or minus quantity 1 minus x is minus 1 plus x. Simplifying further, that's 1 minus x times negative x minus 1 all over x squared. So factor out negative 1, then we have negative of 1 minus x, then this becomes 1 plus x over x squared. 1 minus x, 1 plus x is 1 minus x squared, so negative of 1 minus x squared over x squared, which is x squared minus 1 over x squared. Then we differentiate again for the second time. This is the rate of change of slope. So denominator times derivative of numerator 2x minus numerator x squared minus 1 quantity, derivative of denominator 2x all over denominator squared, x to the fourth. So we cancel x, this becomes x cubed. Then the numerator is 2x squared, after we cancel x, minus 2x squared, then minus 2. Positive 2. Negative of negative 1, positive 1 times 2, because we already canceled x. So plus 2 all over x cubed. We cancel 2x squared, so that reduces to 2 over x cubed, and x is 2 here. 2 over 2 cubed is 1/4. So y double prime is 1/4. The rate of change of slope is 1/4. Using the calculator technique, so before that, y prime is delta y over delta x. So actually, you may just estimate the slope by this ratio, delta y over delta x. So there is a function, if x approaches 1, for example, then you evaluate delta y over delta x at x equals 1.00001, then at minus f of x, which is at x equals 1, all over 1.0001 minus 1 is 0.001. So delta x is 0.001. And that gives us the first derivative using the calculator technique. For the second derivative, it is the derivative of delta y over delta x. So that means because your calculator can evaluate derivative of a function, then we do that using this calculator technique. Y double prime at 2 is derivative of the original function, which is this, quantity 1 minus x squared over x. Evaluate at x equals 2.00001, which is close to 2. Then minus derivative of original function at x equals 2. Then all over. So this is delta y prime, actually, all over 0.0001, where 0.0001 is 2.0001 minus 2. Then you will get 0.25 from your calculator. Example 15, find the first derivative of the following functions. These are trigonometric functions. So take note that secant square t minus tangent square t is 1. So therefore, y prime, the derivative of 1 is 0. So this is also our guide from cosine square x plus sine square x equals 1. Divide everything by cosine square, so 1 plus tangent square x equals secant square x. So secant square x minus tangent square x is 1. Second, we factor this into quantity secant square x minus tangent square x, which is 1 times secant square x plus tangent square x. So that reduces to secant square x plus tangent square x. And tangent square x is secant square x minus 1. It's up to you. You may differentiate this secant square x plus tangent square x as long as the result is the same. I write this as in this manner, so 2 secant square x minus 1. Differentiating 2 times 2, so 4, power formula. Secant to the 1 of x, then the derivative of secant, because imagine this is 2u squared. Derivative of secant is secant x tangent x. Then derivative of 1 is 0, of course, so minus 0. Simplifying, so that's y prime equals 4 tangent x secant square x. Letter C, x is 2 cosine squared t over 2. You may proceed directly to differentiating this as long as the final answer is the same. But there is an identity to this. It is equal to 1 plus cosine t. So x is 1 plus cosine t. The derivative of 1 plus cosine t is 0 plus negative sine t. So dx dt is negative sine t. Letter D, or you may use your calculator if you want, but you will not enhancing your mind. You will not training your minds to think so that you will become little by little great analyzer or great your thinking skill will improve if you do not use your calculator. But for survival purposes, if you keep on using your calculator, there's no development on your part. Tell you, even if your purpose is to take the board exam, not all problems uh, can be solved and can be addressed by the calculator technique. So letter D, y equals tangent of quantity x sine x. Imagine this is y equals tangent of u. The derivative of tangent of u is secant square of u. Then the derivative du dx. So derivative of x sine x product. So x, derivative of sine x cosine x plus secant sine x, derivative of x1. Then simplify, that's quantity x cosine x plus sine x, then 9 secant square of quantity x sine x. Letter E, r equals cosine t cotangent t. So we have cosine t, derivative of cotangent, negative cosecant squared t, plus secant cotangent t, derivative of cosine, negative sine t. So take note that the second term cotangent t is cosine over sine t. Cancel sine t, so this is negative cosine t. So negative cosine t, cosecant squared t, then minus cosine t. Factor out negative cosine t, then times 1, so we have negative cosine t there, then plus cosecant squared t. So that's negative cosine t cosecant squared t. 16 is the last, I think. Find inverse trigonometric functions. Find the first derivative of the following functions. So again, if you cannot recall, then you can use your calculator always. You just assign values of x. So you can assign 0.3 as long as it will not give us undefined value, or the calculator can still solve that expression. So the guide is derivative of arctan of u is du dx over 1 plus u square. So y equals arctan u, arctan of 4 over x. So y prime is du dx. So the derivative of constant over x is, remember, negative constant over variable square. Negative constant over x squared all over 1 plus u squared. So 1 plus quantity 4 over x squared. Simplifying, negative 4 over x squared over x squared plus 16 over x squared. Cancel out x squared. So the final answer y prime is negative 4 over x squared plus 16. So to remind you, if you cannot do it, then use calculator technique. Y equals arcsecant of square root of 4x plus 1. Imagine that's u. And the guide is derivative of arcsecant is du dx in the numerator divided by u, square root of u squared minus 1. Du dx in the numerator, then divided by u, square root of u squared minus 1, where u is square root of 4x plus 1. So derivative of square root of 4x plus 1, derivative of square root of u, again, derivative inside, which is 4 divided by 2 square root of u. Copy. Then all over u, which is square root of 4x plus 1, square root of u square. So the square of square root of 4x plus 1 is 4x plus 1, then minus 1. Cancel 1. This is square root of 4x, which is 2 square root of x. Then 4 over 2 is 2. You can combine square root of 4x plus 1 and square root of 4x plus 1 and write it as 4x plus 1. And this is square root of 4x, which is 2 square root of x. Cancel out 2. So the final answer, y prime, is 1 over square root of x times quantity 4x plus 1. Letter C. This one. You can also use calculator technique if you cannot differentiate this, but this is the derivative. Derivative of inverse cotangent of x is negative of du dx, so negative of 1 over 1 plus u squared, 1 plus x squared. Then derivative of arctan of u, imagine that's u, is du dx, derivative of this ratio over 1 plus u squared. So plus du dx, so derivative of this ratio, denominator, times derivative of numerator 1 minus numerator 2 plus x, derivative of denominator negative 2, all over denominator square, 1 minus 2x squared. This is still du dx, then divided by 1 plus u squared. Simplifying the numerator, so we copy that. That's already simplified. Then plus 1 minus 2x, then minus 4, sorry, plus 4, negative of negative 4 plus 4, then negative of negative 2x, positive 2x, all over quantity 1 minus 2x squared, then all over, this is 1 minus 2x quantity squared, denominator times 1, so 1 minus 2x quantity square, plus quantity 2 plus x square, all over LCD 1 minus 2x square. We can cancel 1 minus 2x quantity square. Simplify further, copy the first term. This is after we cancel negative 2x and 2x, so 5 all over 1 minus 4x plus 4x square, while this is 4 plus 4x plus x square. So cancel negative 4x and 4x. The denominator of the second term is 5 plus 5x squared. So if you factor out 5, then we'll have 1 plus x squared. Cancel 5, so this is positive 1 over 1 plus x squared, then minus 1 over 1 plus x squared. Like terms, opposite sides, so y prime is 0. So using your calculator, inverse cotangent of x is the same as inverse tangent of 1 over x because there's no inverse cotangent in your calculator, only inverse sine, inverse cosine, and inverse tangent. So replace inverse cotangent to inverse tangent, and you replace this x here to reciprocal 1 over x. Then plus derivative of quantity 2 plus x over 1 minus 2x. So combining at x equals 0.3, you will get 0. At x equals 0.2, it will also be 0. As long as you correctly type the derivative of this function. So that's it, because the video is very long.